A little more of a gamble considering this is right here, and then there's a bunch of drops after that. Hoping to get some brook trout here. Oh crap. Snap my rod. Yeah, not able to catch anything here. So, you know, that concerns me. Don't exactly have a ton of food left. Got some rapids coming up, including a class 3, my biggest rapid yet, right around the corner. So I'm not going to keep these fish on a string. I'm just going to clean up 2 walleye right now. Just always bring a nice sharp fillet knife. I'm going to leave the skin on, pull the skin off before I eat them. Once you get to the ribs, it's almost like you cut down. You don't cut like that or you miss that whole part there. And just stick them in a Ziploc and tuck them in the food barrel. Maybe I'll eat them for a shore lunch. You know, they're not going to be the freshest by dinner time, but they won't spoil. It's not 40 degrees out, so I think it'll be okay. Couple nice fillets there. Got to put the spray deck on and load the boat, so got to keep moving. I'm still, you know, going to be on the water by 9, which isn't too bad. I mean, ideally I like to be on by 8, but you know, I still, if I can make it through this whitewater section in 2 days, then I have 85 kilometers to paddle to finish, but there's no obstructions and decent current, so I could probably put in a couple 40-kilometer days and finish potentially in 11 days. But this whitewater section might take me longer than 2 days, so we will see. But anyways, it's the same thing. I'm going to get going. I don't want to rush. I don't want to get too stressed out. I want to enjoy myself, but I also know I got to get on the water and move. And you put these under. You want to make sure that they're not under too much or that the bungees are too tight. So, because you got to be able to pull them out with relative ease. I do things at a relatively fast pace. I don't rush, but you know, I get stuff done as fast as I can and make it as far as I can, and what more can you do than that? So that's kind of the plan for the day. Got a little class 1 here. Looks like it's got a pretty good drop to it. Should be interesting. Looks more like a class 2. smoked a boulder there though. Tough to see those ones. Just dodged it there before I ran the big wave. Woo! Alright, so far the rapids are fun. That's the class 4 up there. Well, I'm gonna go scout it out. Looks like I might be able to run it, but it's a big hole. And the problem is I can't scout it because I'd have to bushwhack all the way through this, all the way around to over there so I could look at it. And I don't want to do that. So it's too time consuming. Plus it's not a good place to mess around above a waterfall. Just down around that corner is a raging waterfall and the current doesn't let up much before it. So I think my best bet is to come in along the other side and come up to about there, over where that log is there, and then drag through those rocks there. Seems like a good plan. When you get to a rapid, the first thing you got to do is scout it. Even on the smaller rapids that I don't get out of the boat, I'm still scouting from the boat. So first you got to do is scout. Usually that means get out and walk down the shore. And then you got to make the rational decision on how you're going to manage that rapid. So that's, do you shoot it? That's run it. Do you line it? That's walk down the shore on the rocks, holding your boat at the end of a rope and maneuvering it through the rocks. Do you wade it, which is, do you just hold onto the side of your boat and walk it down, or do you portage? So shoot, line, wade, or portage. The other option is pull. Not a lot of people do that anymore, but that's when you stand in the boat and you control the boat with a long pull pushing off the bottom, which I'm going to be hopefully doing on another trip this fall. But that's the big thing. So you got to always make up you got to make the best decision regarding what's safest and what's the safest thing to do, what's the smartest thing to do. So, you know, rational decision making, basically. Shoot, line, wade, or portage, but it all starts with scouting. You don't want to just blindly run anything, especially not when you're in such a remote location like we are here. So I'm just hopping over to the other side of the river. So basically I'm going to try to line down this. left here where I'm swept over the falls. Better eddy out here and then scout the next eddy. Because yeah, this is a rager. So maybe I'll just start from here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like I can eddy out in there. The falls, it just goes through a narrow channel and then boom, drops hard. I can see the mist. So I'm going to run back to the canoe, and then I'm going to come along here. And instead of going over the falls, I'm going to get into this eddy here, and I'm going to start portaging from there. Seems like a good plan. So bony everywhere, man. I'm gonna track up a bit. I don't want to fuck around here above a guaranteed death waterfall. That's where those rocks will get you, so low, but you'll hit one when you're not expecting it. Alright, well, this is where the portage starts.
So, tricky pudding here. I'm gonna have to push my boat into the current, jump in quickly, and try not to dump in all this swirling rapids. Should be interesting. Took in some water just in that boil on the right. Started dumping right in there. That's what happens when there's not enough water, because it's so aerated to actually float your boat, but there's enough water to swamp your canoe. And especially when it's a curling boil like that, it'll also twist you and swamp you. But all in all, I felt like I handled that put-in pretty well. That was a short portage, rugged, and took a while. So I don't think I'm making it 30K, but it is what it is. All right, got a class 2 coming up here. Very shallow on the right. Usually there's more water on the outside of the turn. All right, here we go. Wave train here. Don't mind if I do. Cutting over to the middle here, and I think I'm going to cut right across. Ran out of water on the left there. Woo. Well, that worked out all right. It was a bit of a drag over / line. Now I got a boulder garden to contend with here. We're gonna have to try to jump over to the other side. will sneak up on you. And just had a look at the maps with, you know, class 5s and 4s and portages around the corner. It's a good idea to know where you are. This to me doesn't look like a class 4, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick my way down the left and eddy out and then see what's downriver. So a bit of a risky maneuver here, but I'm going to go for it. Runnable. Nailed it! Woo! Yeah, if I'd hit that further right, my goose would have been cooked. Awesome run. Hit it perfect. Couldn't hit it much better than that. That's marked as a class 4 on my map, but it's really just a class 3 at these water levels. That's why I have the spray deck on, you know? Too shallow to run. A couple things could go wrong, potentially, when I'm lining it. So, I want to be really careful. A bit of a spill there on the slippery rocks and fell at the beginning, but I managed to regain and hit it just about perfectly. So good little lining. see how the sleep is, but I think I actually found a pretty flat spot. And just the rocks are really neat. Like, it just looks beautiful. It's an island. Got my own private island. Look at this. Well, got to camp a little late, but this is pretty freaking chill. Glad I waited till I found a decent site. Just started unloading my food barrel. I got the fish out. I'm gonna cook the fish, and then I hear this crashing and rustling in the bush right. I think there's a bear there. Look, too dark. Right over there. Oh, did you hear it? Is it still there? Can you see that? Anyways, I'm pretty sure there's a bear right over there on the other side of the river. Or at least there was one there and it ran off. It might have smelt some food or just been naturally walking this way. And once it got here, it saw that I was a person and it like turned around and ran away, and I just heard it running away. But I'm gonna fire this. This is a bear banger. And it's not gonna hurt the bear, but it's just like a loud explosive, and hopefully will scare it. If it's hanging out there and thinking about coming over here to get my food, hopefully this will get rid of it. All right, I'm gonna fire this. Beat it! Beat it! Anyways, probably nothing to worry about, but it's a little concerning, I'm not gonna lie, especially because I'm out here alone. When you're alone, you're more of a target. But that's just a pen launcher by True Flare and a bear banger attachment. You can actually put whistling flares on there too, but I keep one on me all the time when I'm in the bush like this. Not a bad little feast at all. Hot. That's good. So many fun runs. The river, these last few rapids have more volume, so it's not so bony as some of the top ones. I'm catching fish, I'm eating fish, and that's awesome. And the river has just gotten much more dramatic. I have probably the most demanding rapids of the trip to deal with tomorrow. Another portage, at least one more portage. Tomorrow I should get an earlier start and make some more distance and get caught up. And yeah, I'm talking about 11 days compared to 13, 14 days to do this trip, and it's looking like maybe 11 is what it's going to be. So the train only leaves Moosonee on Mondays and Thursdays, so if I made it in 11, I'd be done Monday. If not, I'd have to wait till Thursday. So it'd be nice, I guess, to get home as opposed to wait around. Get home and see Wesley and Tori, and get ready for our next trip. So yeah, awesome meal, awesome day. I'm gonna throw some more wood on the fire, finish my fish, and call it a night.